Greetings to all who may be watching my first ever playthrough on this channel of a game that I am very familiar with, Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent Riders expansion included in this one. I've chosen this particular game to do first for one reason, and one reason only, and that's because I know it inside and out. I've played it for many years. This is, well, you know how some people grow up with different things? Like, some people grow up with, say, Doom, some people grow up with, say, Pac-Man, or other people grow up with games like Myths. I grew up with this. As you saw, it was created by Raven Software, using id Software technology and engines, and with a little bit of cooperation from them, I believe. But let's get going. There are 3 episodes normally. These last 2 down here were added in the Shadow expansion pack, but we're starting on City of the Damned, and I'm going to be going through this on the hardest difficulty. There are probably going to be several points where I get stuck here because this is really brutal, but hopefully not too often. I can probably overcome this. I've been through worse. But yeah, so we've got these first basic enemies, which are gargoyles. These little red, they're supposedly like a cross between demons and bats. They fly through the air. They can't shoot, but they can kind of charge at you through the air. And if they get close enough to you, they will attempt to scrape you up with their fiery talons. Even on this difficulty, they really don't do much damage. And they're not much of a threat. They can get killed very easily by just my basic 2 weapons. My fallback here is this, the staff. It, as you can see, has very low reach, a good attack rate, but its damage isn't that great either. You generally don't want to be using it unless you're out of ammo. So we picked up a gold key, goes here to this gold door, and oh hey! That is a mummy. The game calls them golems, but the term mummy is way more fitting. Also, if you scan them, which can be done by pulling down the console. I'm doing this on the GZDoom engine, by the way. But if you pull down the console and type in a line target... Wait, hang on, what? Okay, so apparently I can't do that right now. Yeah, I can't do that right now, so forget I said anything. But yeah, mummies are tougher than gargoyles, but they're ground-bound. They also hit a bit harder, and they... nice touch, when you shoot them enough to make them crumble apart, you see those little ghosts in them fly upwards. Ow. Ah! Like that, see? Yeah, we found a secret with the gauntlets of the necromancer. Yeah, it's another melee weapon that shoots out electricity from my hands that has a much faster attack rate, slightly longer reach than my staff attack. So it's a much better melee fallback, especially since it can stun enemies, but it also pulls you towards your target, so if you don't stun your target, you'll probably take damage. Oh yeah, and mummies may sometimes drop wand crystals when they're killed. Like that. Wand crystals are the ammunition for this weapon here, my Elven Wand. It's a very weak attack, decent-ish firing rate, but its accuracy is really bad, and so is its damage. At least it doesn't put me in harm's way like the staff or dragon claw do. But yeah, that wall had that symbol on it that was a bit different from everything else, meaning it was a secret, which leads to some arrows. Probably guess what weapon those go to. It's right up here, actually. The ethereal crossbow. This is a really nifty weapon, but I won't be using it against the next batch of enemies. They're just gargoyles. Crossbow really doesn't do so well against gargoyles, at least from my experience, unless they're in big swarms. Besides, the Elven Wand can kill them easily enough. But I will be using it against these mummies. And against everything that comes after it. As you saw, it shoots a spread of 3 bolts. The centermost bolt is stronger than the 2 that fly off to the sides. But if all 3 of them connect, they can do very large amounts of damage to these weaker enemies. And that's the exit. But first, pulling that switch up there opens this. Yeah, this is a windy area, so certain shots and me can be pushed around by the wind. These guys are undead knights, by the way. They throw axes. They do have a melee attack. It's a very weak one. But those axes are by far the biggest threat. They throw green ones that spin through the air, don't do much damage and are affected by wind, and they sometimes throw red ones. Red axes have blood dripping off them. They do a lot more damage and they're unaffected by wind. So, this one complete. Let's keep going. Docks complete. Now entering dungeons. Ow! Well, yeah, something you're gonna notice very quickly about this difficulty is any enemy with a ranged attack, like these undead knights, becomes a really big threat. Because it supposedly turns on this weird sort of toggle that makes the monsters... It makes them move and attack a bit faster. It makes anything with a ranged attack automatically attack you if you're in its line of sight. And it also makes their shots move a hell of a lot faster, so it's a lot more difficult to dodge. But it is nice that I got all those different secrets, like the bag of holding and the gauntlets earlier on. They're going to be really helpful in the long run. Okay, and time to show you what this spiffy book I picked up in the previous level does. It is a Tome of Power. Okay, it's another right there. It enhances all of my weapons while it's active. Some of them, like the crossbow here, just get a flat-out upgrade. It turns into a fast 5-way spread shot now. Others get an entirely different attack form, like the Elven Wand. It goes from that single shot to a sort of 7-way spread. Not as powerful as the crossbow's powered up form, but still epic against most enemies. The staff gets a nice electric effect on it, and a fairly large damage bonus as well. The gauntlets get a nice red effect, which triples their range and also allows them to steal enemies' health and add it to my own. A condition I believe is called lifesteal. Yeah, one bonus about playing on the hardest difficulty, though, is that you're pretty much never going to run out of ammo. All of the ammunition pickups are worth like 50% more. We're gonna be seeing a whole bunch of new items in this level. Let's see, okay, down here, silver shields. Obviously give you armor, which goes down as you take damage, but resists a fairly large chunk of it. Could potentially save your life. Got some strange crystal spheres and a yellow key. Oh, okay. So, going through that whole secret opened up this crusher here, which gave me access to the Dragon Claw, a very powerful new weapon that I don't quite have enough ammo to use. Being a rapid-fire attack, it will drain your ammo very frequently. It's actually a hell of a lot more powerful than most people who play this game realize it is. In fact, it's one of the weapons I break out when facing much stronger enemies than these. Yeah, crossbow is not just for dealing with single targets at short range. It also, as you see, performs very admirably against groups of enemies. Especially if you do enough damage with 1 or 2 shots to kill it, so the other shots fly through and hit anyone behind. And oh hey, gas pods! Shoot them and they explode! Kind of like in a lot of other games, they have explosive barrels. I'm gonna use the Shadow Sphere now. It makes me go into this sort of partly invisible state, where enemies have a hard time aiming at me, and physical attacks, physical range attacks, like the axes that undead knights throw at me, will pass through me instead of actually hurting me. That works for both the red and green axes, by the way. Got a bunch of time bombs as well, and a quartz flask. Quartz flask I picked up a while ago restores 25% of your health, whereas these little blue crystal balls restore 10%. You can store the quartz flasks in your inventory for later use. Really, the invisibility in these games is not handled that well. It just makes these guys dart all over the place. I liked it much better when in games actually being invisible actually meant the bad guys would have a hard time detecting where you actually were. Descent handled it perfectly, and I think it came out at the same time this game did, so... What a strange gap. That's the kind of damage gas pods can cause. That big swarm of gargoyles in this room, all of them are toast. This room can be a little bit hazardous, especially on this difficulty. There's just all these idiots inside this little bunker here. It's probably really hard for you to see them, but they're dead now. Found another tome. Those tomes are actually really common for such a powerful item. So yeah, I also picked up time bombs a while ago. Those, they're really fun to use if you can use them properly. Otherwise, they're just hazardous. Basically, you place them, they hover in the area for a little while, and then they explode. Like that. You can carry quite a few of them, and they're usually pretty common, but they're not that strong. And I also picked up some wings, which allow me to fly when I use the little wings. Now, rest assured, there is a story to this game, but since there's so much crap that I have to go over first, in terms of, like, core mechanics and such, I'll get to that eventually. Yeah, there are small ammo pickups and big ammo pickups for all the different weapons. I'm not going to explain what their values are, I'll let my auditor do that. Okay, now when I pick up this key, this whole entire room's going to get dark, so I'm going to use the torch to illuminate the area. And then I'm going to pull out my Dragon Claw, because I'm in trouble here. Yeah, if you shoot a wall with a Dragon Claw, it makes those little sparks. But if you hit a monster with it, it makes that really nice explosion effect. This thing's very powerful. Enough to kill most of the stronger enemies very fast, unless you're playing with a mod, of course. Most of the mods for this game nerf this weapon, actually. But yeah, it's really versatile too. You can hold down the trigger and launch out an inaccurate barrage of death, or just kind of tap it like that to shoot across longer range without losing accuracy. The problem with it, though, is that the ammo for it accumulates very slowly. So, you really can't spam it. Don't exactly need any of that stuff. But yeah, I could go up there using the wings if I wanted to. One thing I should mention is that every time you go to a new level, like I just left the dungeons, got almost everything, and I'm now headed to the gatehouse, you lose all but one of all the inventory items you store.